News Radio 700 WLW.
Yes, the United States versus Combs. Trial going on downtown Manhattan, I believe. And it centers on the elaborate and produced sex performances known as freak-offs. So imagine the jury and everyone will be really, tuned in on what exactly is a freak-off, what it is and what it is not.
I got a couple of things in my brain that I think
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. But lots of allegations out there. Combs abused women, threatened women, did gross and salacious things with women, and a lot of people have come forward, and the trial begins today.
Let's get an overall view of all this proceeding going on. He is our good friend. He has been a defense attorney. He's been a prosecuting attorney. He is one of the good ones. He is our good friend, Jeremy Rosenthal. Jeremy, how you been, buddy?
Man, I'm good. I'm great. How are y'all?
We're doing great, man. So let's talk about this Diddy case.
Yes.
So
yes.
Well, we were talking about it in our aborted intro to you, but so what do you see going on here? I mean, is this kind of, it appears to be open and shut, but hell, I thought that about OJ, and this guy has got apparently a powerful a team as OJ had defended him.
Right. No, this one's open and shut. This is going to be, Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Mavericks. This is going to be, get out of hand. They're going to run up the score, or Red Raider Bearcat. It'll be
I know
like
it's
that.
coming. Yes.
Yeah. Look, I mean, Diddy is, he's got a lot of problems here, and they've indicted him on, I think there's 5 or 6 counts. Anytime you're moving people around different states and you're engaging in these types of acts, I mean, look, Diddy's defense is, I'm a swinger and this is the swinger lifestyle, but that's not what the people are going to get up on the witness stand and say. They're going to say we were coerced into sex. You flew us from state 1 to state 2. You did it with your corporate funds. That makes it racketeering. You got a video of him punching the daylights out of his ex-girlfriend. Look, I'm all for defending a case and doing it creatively. I mean, in OJ, you've always got the whodunit, right? With almost any murder. Okay, I mean, we'll go with I'm a swinger, and this is just kind of how we do it. He can go with that. I don't see him getting too far.
What is the most compelling piece of evidence? Because there's a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of men have come forward and said that he coerced them into doing terrible things. But if you boil it all down, Jeremy, what is the most compelling evidence that he is going to be guilty here?
The Ryder truck full of baby oil. Maybe, I don't know.
How could I forget that? Yes.
That's a clue.
I mean, yes, right? Sherlock Holmes. Hey, what are you doing? What's all this about, right? It's just, I don't know that there's any one bit of smoking gun evidence here. It's just the accumulation of so many bad things. And the way that the feds will work, especially in the high-profile, high-target things. And by the way, James Comey, his daughter is a federal prosecutor, and his daughter's actually prosecuting Diddy. That's a little. Did you know?
Wow.
Yes. The defense lawyers always, we rightfully get all the attention, but every once in a while, you look on the other side. I mean, looking at this thing, the way the feds work is they will sort of work on the fringes. They'll work on the people on the outside, and then they fold their way in. So what the feds are doing is they're getting a lot of those people are on the periphery. Right, they're getting a lot of the lackeys, a lot of the people who are kind of just sort of out there making contact with people, flying them in across the country to go to these quote unquote freak offs. I mean, those are the people who are going to basically, the pun here, finger Diddy, and they're going to be like, he's the guy who made me do this, and he's the one who set this up, and he's the one who's kind of at the center. And, one guy, 2 guys, okay, fine. 10 guys, and now you're going to have some celebrities who may kind of come and testify against him too. It's a lot. It's just a lot to overcome.
You mentioned the celebrities. That's where I was going to go next. Like, what high-profile people, musicians, actors, that sort of thing, do you expect to be drawn to the witness stand or otherwise?
Yeah. We're all gonna be star watching, aren't we? Right. I think they dropped a few names in jury selection. Kid Cutie is one of them. I'm trying to think of some of the others.
I think it's Michael Myers, the actor, right?
Really?
I thought I saw
Austin
that.
Powers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knows if he was at a party? Yeah.
Oh, behave.
Yeah. That's like Dave Chappelle did a comedy routine. I don't know if you saw. It's pretty funny. He said, "That's how I know that I'm not in the in crowd in Hollywood." He's like, "How'd that guy get an invite to the freak off and I didn't?"
Right. I did see that. Very, very funny. Now you mentioned, okay, it's kind of open and shut, and the case seems to be, heavy on the side of the prosecutor. The defense, Jeremy, talk about what are they thinking? Whether it's a Hail Mary or not, what are they going to lean their case on in terms of making the case? Hey, okay, yeah, the guy liked to have sex, liked to have parties, but he's not a monster. What are they going to say?
Right. You got two avenues of defense that I've heard. I don't think any are particularly great, but you know what? Hey, you got to defend the thing somehow. One is that everything was consensual. All these acts were consensual. These people were stargazing. They were happy to be involved. They were happy to come to these parties. And that when they were going from state to state, yeah, maybe we paid the bill for them to do that, but this was voluntary. Nobody was ever made or coerced to do anything. Anytime you're, again, defending a federal case, you've also got some built-in ammunition with a lot of the witnesses. That is that the feds tend to lean on people, right? If they come to you and they say, listen, we want you to roll over and we want you to testify against such and so.
Yep.
We could make this really unpleasant for you. Technically we think you could be, you could violate this and this. So you've always got those sort of built-in, folks, and the way you argue it as a defense lawyer is you say, listen, folks, if I gave a nickel to anybody, if I bought this witness a Coke, my law license could be jeopardized. And that's because we don't want to bribe witnesses. And the government, those guys that didn't just buy a Coke, they have the ability to take this entire person's life away from them. So, yeah, you're going to tell them that everything is, you're going to tell these folks whatever they want to hear, too. You've got those. Another defense I've heard is that, and it's an even worse defense, which is which was he was impaired, right? That he didn't know his state of mind, he was out of it, that he was, and that's hard because it's not one instance, it's 50, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
Right.
That's just so hard to do.
And I would assume that there is all kinds of written evidence, and by that I mean digital evidence. I'm talking about texts. I'm talking about emails,
yes,
calls, everything. This has to be a long, thick line of stuff.
Exactly. You've got, they raided his house in L.A. and in Miami at the same time. Yes, you're going to get a lot of digital evidence, a lot of text messages, and one of the challenges for the government, if the government's got any of it, is there's probably a lot of it that is not going to look coercive, right? There's not a lot of, you're not going to find any texts, I wouldn't think, that are going to say do this or else. Now they're saying that he bullied some people in and that he sort of blackmailed folks to participate and said, listen, now I've got you on video naked and doing X, Y, and Z. You better do what we tell you, otherwise that could make its way into the wrong hands. We'll see if that comes to light. We'll see if that's out there. A lot of times the government's going to tell the jury to sort of read in between the lines there. But I would be surprised if they didn't have a handful of witnesses that aren't ready to get up on the witness stand and say, yeah, he threatened me. Didn't text me, didn't do this, didn't do that, but yeah, he threatened me. I think you're going to see some of that.
Now, what about this, Jeremy? I imagine there's got to be lots of other rappers and musicians, actors, actresses that are very, very nervous right now. Let's say this trial goes on and it looks bad for Diddy here. tell us how it works. Do they come to him and say, look, we can let, shave a little time off this, but we need you to flip on this person, that person, that person? Is that kind of scenario have any potential to happen?
I mean, they offered him a deal, and he turned it down about 4 or 5 days ago. Now, what was in that deal, we don't know. In the federal system, you don't have you don't plead guilty and get 15 years, not in the federal system. The way that you do it is you agree to enter into a plea, and the government sort of charges you differently, and the sentencing is completely up to the judge. So in those instances, the plea isn't quite as nailed down. So there was something offered to him. We don't know what that is. When you are a guy like Diddy, your challenge is there's nobody that they want more than you, right? When you go to the government and say, hey, guess what? I can give you my mechanic, right? I mean, yeah. And the government's like, yeah, no, we're good, man. We got, we want you, buddy. So you're not going to get really far. And maybe if there's a real high profile somebody at these parties that they're interested in so much more, then maybe yes. But no, when you're at the center of the bullseye, it's real hard to get out.
All right. With that, Jeremy, this is going to be long and salacious, dirty, filthy.
Just like we like it.
Just like we like it.
Yes, I know. Isn't it great? Yeah. So, I mean, look, and the crazy thing is, as a lawyer, you can get paid for it. Isn't that amazing that,
Yeah, I say, well, you guys got it figured out, man. Yeah, you get to get knee deep in all these issues, get paid well to do it. Not a bad
You'll
way.
never believe what I read today in evidence. Jeremy Rosenthal.
The water cooler talk would shock anybody.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
All right, Jeremy, thanks so much, man.
Take care, guys.
Great
Bye.
stuff. Thanks,
buddy.
Jeremy.
Our good friend Jeremy Rosenthal.